potentially having a justice that's willing to break from prior court precedents?
Well, I think so. We have a vacancy on the Florida Supreme Court. Justice Kennedy retired and is now working at the University of Florida, running the Hamilton Center, which is an amazing place, by the way. So now I have 6 names on a Judicial Nominating Commission list, and I've got to pick one of those names. Some of the things I look for, I mean, you got to have an understanding of the proper role of a judge. You have to understand the Constitution and how to apply statutes in a constitutionally sound way. But you also have to have courage to be able to do that, knowing that, you know, liberal media may attack you. You may get blowback for doing the right thing, but you got to be willing to do that and rule and not worry about all those other things that may happen. In terms of precedent, I mean, I think you treat precedent with respect, but I also think that if the court has taken wrong turns, particularly constitutionally, the most important thing is to get it right. And we've had a very liberal court before I became governor for a long time. They engaged in a lot of, I would say, judicial somersaults to try to arrive at certain results that they favored politically, and I think it distorted some of the underlying jurisprudence. So I think there is some work to be done there. That's got to come up in the appropriate ways. But one thing I think that they should be doing, you know, Texas Supreme Court just nixed the American Bar Association from being able to be the accreditor for these law schools. And the ABA is like left of the left. I mean, like, it's a very partisan left activist organization. And, you know, they have a right to do that if that's what floats your boat. But they should not play a central role in legal education or the legal profession as if they're some neutral arbiter when they obviously have a very aggressive agenda. So the Texas Supreme Court said the law schools are going to be accredited by the Supreme Court of Texas, and that's how they're going to do it. They should do that at the Florida Supreme Court. They should do the exact same thing that Texas did, and I was really happy to see the Texas Supreme Court leading on that. So fidelity to the Constitution and the law, understanding the proper role of the judiciary and a constitutional system of separated powers, but then also having the backbone and the courage to be able to rule properly, knowing that you may get some brushbacks from partisan people in media, and you just got to be willing to do that. If you let that factor whether you're going to do the right thing, you are not going to end up being successful in any of these positions. You know, you got to realize that if you're over the target, you know, they're going to fire at you. That's just the way it is. Now, the state Supreme Court doesn't get as much blowback as the U.S. Supreme Court, and you look at how some of these justices have been treated over the years, particularly by very partisan media. It's been horrible how they've treated Clarence Thomas, how they've treated Justice Alito, and a lot of times they do fake narratives to try to damage them. I got something there, and it's really been bad. And the thing is, they'll say, Justice Thomas, you know, went on vacation with some wealthy guy. And first of all, I don't think there's anything wrong. They're friends, whatever, so there's nothing wrong. But then they don't talk about Ginsburg doing that 10 times more. So it's like, okay, is it right or not? I mean, what's good for the goose, and that's not what they're doing. They have an agenda. And it started when he had confirmation hearings, when they did horrible treatment, including Biden was a part of that. But then whatever they can do to take pot shots. And, you know, that's why those two guys, you know, they're very excellent jurists because they are very good on the law and Constitution, but they really have strong backbones, and they really stand in there, and, like, you will not cow them into changing who they are. You know, we have this problem with Republicans for many decades. Presidents would put these Republican appointed justices on the Supreme Court, and they would be, oh, this is a conservative, and they'd evolve into something much more liberal. And they have life tenure, so there's really nothing you can do short of impeaching them. And so you do that. So this has always been kind of the fear. Well, they asked Justice Thomas when he first got on the court, like, you know, what's going to happen? Are you going to change? He said, I ain't evolving. I ain't evolving at all. Like, I am what I am, and that's what I'm going to do going forward. So it's been a good run there. And I think our court here will be interesting because when I make this selection, there's 7 members of the court. 6 of the 7 will have been appointed by me. And I think the average age of the justices in that 6-justice of the 5 justices before I do one, I think the average age is something like 46, and they can serve till they're 75. And so some of you will have kids and grandkids that will benefit, I think, from rulings in like 25 years that'll be constitutionally sound. And so that's really important, and that was a big problem in this state for a long time. I think we're in much better stead. But I'm really looking forward to making a strong appointment because I think it can get even better. All right, everybody. God bless you all. Thank you.